Hello, how are you? Welcome to our crochet and chat session. And today I thought I would cheat a little bit because I have been going live every single day for this entire year. Sorry, I've got something creaking. On Instagram to make my temperature blanket square. So today I thought I would make it on here instead and then share it to Instagram later. So here I am. So if you don't know what a temperature blanket is, well, essentially I've decided to make mine as a square and I'm working in the diagonals, but you pick a series of colors to match a range of temperatures. And then for the maximum temperature for that day, for wherever you are, you can make in my case, a square. There are lots and lots of varieties out there. So some might make, or most, they're made using rows. There are some with squares. And there are some as well that will include the minimum temperature. And even if it was dry or snowy or anything else like that. So it takes a lot of discipline to actually keep up with it the entire year, which I have managed. There's some days where I've gone, crap, that's right, I've got to make my square. But I think having the accountability of going live on Facebook or Instagram, for this one has helped. So I'm actually up to date. And I've made a few mistakes along the way, just silly ones. Like the other day I forgot to join one of the corners, so I'm going to have to do it when I go back down the other side. And I also the other day did the wrong colour, which thankfully the next day was the same colour, so I didn't make the wrong colour, I put it in the wrong spot. And then the next day, thankfully, it was the right colour, so I wasn't going to change it anyway. I'm not that particular. So here I make my temperature blanket. So for those of you that, I know there's lots of you that I had a free download for this, and I know lots of you have downloaded it. So, and I know there's plenty of others around the world that are making this in their own version as well. So if you are getting behind, what I suggest is that you start playing catch up now. What have we got? Just under half the year left, so it's quite manageable still. If all you do, hopefully you've been recording your temperatures, but if you haven't, you can always go back over to the Weather Bureau. You can actually look up past temperatures as well. So you can even do it for another year if you wanted to make one now for another year, like a year that means something to you. But if you are trying to play catch up with this year, you can, and you didn't keep the temperatures, then you can, of course, go back and look for them. And what I'd suggest now is that you just start doing 2 a day now. And by the end of the year, you won't have so many, or you could do 3 a day, and then before the end of the year, you'll have caught up. So it's not impossible to get back on track. So I've been making this in the afternoon, obviously, once we know what the max temperature is. And it's been kind of my transition on work days from work to whatever else I've got at the end of the day to do. So, yes. So today it was 22.4 degrees in Perth, which for me is green. You can see I'm at the end of a row here, so it doesn't look so pretty for you right now. But I've had a lot of aqua. And it's been actually quite fascinating to see how many different colours and the variety. And like the Perth's weather, we're all over the place. There was one month I think I had 7 or 8 of the 10 colours, which is just crazy. This month we've only had 3 colours, I think, which has been blue, aqua and the green. But we haven't had below 15 degrees yet. We had one day recently of 15, and I really wish that I had made it 15 and under just so I could use that colour once, but I've written them on some pegs. So to keep track of what my colours are, I've got a note on my phone, so I've got them there and I just match them. And the other way, hanging just above this workstation here, I've got each colour on a peg and I've got them in order. Oops, I didn't do that stitch properly. And I just check on that and make sure I get it right. Because there was one day that I started making the wrong one as well and had to switch. Because I'm going to join on this corner. I like to join when I'm on my second round of the last round. Second side, sorry, of the last round. So actually the other day I shared some joining methods for squares, because in our square a day challenge we're getting to a lot of that at the moment. And one of them was join as you go on the last round, which is what this one is. But essentially with any of the join as you go, what you're doing is you're attaching from one square to another with a slip stitch. So you can essentially do any stitch. Generally helps if there's a chain involved. So the lattice one that I did is chains that are then linked with a slip stitch. And in most cases you will replace one of the chains with a slip stitch, so it's fairly easy to work out. So like in my corner here I have 3 chains, so the second one I'm making the slip stitch to the other side. I'm just going to move my blanket a little, and then one more chain, so it's kind of the middle chain is the one I'm joining with. So you can do it in any, so if you've got picots or if you're doing like this granny square. My side ones I'm keeping the chain one before I join, so it's entirely up to you how you do it, but it really is as simple as just one slip stitch across to the other side to join it, no matter what method you try and do as a join as you go. I quite like the join as you go, but it kind of needs you to be a little bit pre-planned. Temperature blanket is easier because, well, you just do what square it says, but if you've got a particular layout, you're going to have to know that a little bit before you continue. So I can see a few of you have popped in and out, so I don't have, no comments are coming up, so feel free to comment, but I'm nearly done. So today I actually decided to take on reorganising my pantry, which wasn't too bad because a few years ago I sorted it out, so lots of things are in baskets in certain locations, but it was just such a mess. So I spent a good part of my morning doing that, which I've been wanting to for a while. But anyway, so there you go. So there's the temperature blanket, how you can play a bit of catch up, a little bit of a join as you go thrown in. So if you do want accountability for, or a prompt to remember to do your temperature blanket, if you want to play catch up or whatever, then just come follow me on Instagram and put on notifications for when I go live for my stories, because I do it every day. And then, yeah, you'll get your little reminder, because I'm like clockwork. I haven't missed a single day yet. Gone close because a few times I've sat down and gone, oh, yeah, whoops. And then gotten back up and done it. It'd be much easier if I wasn't going live. I could have just sat, but I go live. So there you go. And if you do want to start a temperature blanket for any other year or wherever, I'll also post the link to my free download so you can go with that colour guide or another. Now the end of it all, I also put a stitch marker to where the next square has to go. So I've actually stopped increasing on both sides now. So we're on the last half of the year and decreasing. So mine is 18 squares across and 20 squares down. And each one of these is about 5 or 6 centimetres. So if you feel like doing maths, you can work out the size, but it's quite a decent sized blanket now. So you can see we had summer and spring in one corner, and now we're working through to winter. But there you go. So that's today's Crochet and Chat. I'll be back sometime next weekend to do another. All right, enjoy what's left of your weekend and enjoy your week. Bye.